Hey, welcome back, guys. What is going on? It's been a busy day here on the homestead. Show you my pond. Rained all day, of course. Oh well, I'm at a point now it doesn't matter a whole lot. Slowing down the gable ends and the soffit, but I'm getting to the point where I gotta make a trip like every day to get materials, and then you forget one thing, and I don't know, it's like an hour from here to Lowe's, so been making a trip there every morning before I get here, making a list every night. Anyway, my problems, first world problems. I have to drive a long way to a superstore that has everything. I'll take you guys in, show you let me make you really dizzy first. There we go. And I'll take you in and show you what's going on. This is my little transition spot here. It's a little muddy. Anyway, so it's dark in here. Wait for it. Looky there, lights. Not only do I have those lights, I've got more lights. Whoop. There we go. Figured I'd go ahead and get the can lights going, because that's not going to affect the drywall. So, what have I been doing? I've been putting in plumbing today. I got my vents put in. I got my supply lines put in. And still tinkering with electrical. I wish I could tell you that right there is fun, but it really wasn't. There's a lot going on. One of the things I talked about on this house is I really condensed everything I could into one area just to make it cheaper. But then you have a wall that has everything in it. So, learning a lot here. One great thing that I just kind of accidentally did was made this one particular interior wall a 2x6. I don't think I could have done it without that. I mean, it's enabled me to do all the runs and still have enough lumber to hold drywall up. So, this is real world. I kind of always wonder, does everything go smooth for everybody else? Because it sure doesn't for me. I actually fired the well up today and pressurized the system. I had to kind of scab it together to put plugs. So basically I had to put plugs in everything so I could pressurize the system, but I just had to know. And honestly, I missed like 3 crimps. One of them was pretty awesome. It actually pressurized up and then blew off and shot water everywhere. Got that fixed. Literally have no clamps. I was digging through what I mean by clamps. The way this particular PEX works, you put it in there and then you have a crimp right here that crimps down onto a brass fitting. So I needed one. And I knew I had dropped them. So I've got this magnet, I rolled it around, couldn't find it. I literally dumped the trash out and found one. So I was able to pressurize the system, scab something together. See, because I don't have a water heater. So since I wanted to, okay, so you got the wells coming in, it's only going to the cold side of things. Here's where the water heater is going to go, and it mixes over to hot. So in order to pressurize the hot and cold, I just scrapped together. This is the second bath. This is just scrap. So coming out of the cold into the hot, and it'll go all the way back around. So I want to share with you guys. It's been honest. If you've been watching this, not everything goes perfect. Leading up to that, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I got it all done, got it scabbed together, it's holding pressure fine, and I notice a little drip on the floor. And I'm like, what is going on? So when you put plumbing in, you put these plates on. That's to keep the drywaller from screwing into that. And that's just life. But, if you're doing that, you're like, oh, that's for the idiots. Well, this guy. So, in the mess of all this, I'm scabbing all this together. Put a screw right through the line. It actually holds pressure pretty good. It's a small drip, but since I used my last fitting, I'm not able to fix that right now. So that'll be on my list to do tomorrow. Oh, another thing I did, I got this going. Got the faucet going. I actually flowed water out of here today. Got the shower head in up here. Ooh, pretty high. This is what goes, a threaded pipe here goes behind the faucet there, and of course, I thought, well, that'll be pretty close. We'll make the difference up on the back. Nope, it wasn't, so I had to run to town. Luckily, we got a place in town that can cut those and thread them, because I needed like 1.5 inches off. So that worked great, got that going. Gonna work on this tomorrow. Got that to fix. I'm gonna put those little metal plates everywhere. So, I was thinking about something. Let me sit you down here. I don't want to drone on and on and on. I've had a couple comments, people that are like, oh, I'm thinking about building my own house, you know, what's it like? And that's cool. It seems like a lot of things I've done in my life. Let me get you, we're not blind. There we go. You know, I assume most of you guys do the same thing. You go on YouTube and, you know, find people that did it. I mean, before I started building my house, I mean, I've watched probably hundreds of videos of people that have done the same thing. Because, I mean, and I've went to the library, I got like every book and read, you know, tried to kind of educate myself into what I'm doing, just so, I'm gonna move you guys. I think that light's messing with me. Anyway, you know, just so you're going at this the right way. But to me, it's way more valuable to look at a video where somebody's actually doing it. I mean, you kind of wonder, people write books, you know, about whatever. People do YouTube videos about whatever. I mean, you just, you glean a little bit from everyone you watch. So I think I've narrowed it down to building a house on your own. It's kind of there's 3 key areas. There's one, physically demanding. I mean, it's just me here. So, you know, as far as getting up the ladder 100 times and, you know, doing all the stuff, that's that. 2, you have to be ahead of the game on your materials. So you have to be thinking ahead of, what am I going to need tomorrow? What am I going to need next week? And especially now with the pandemic, just like, what am I not going to be able to get? You know, when is this thing going to grind to a halt for one little thing? So I'm trying to stay ahead of that. And 3, the general picture, like the knowledge of what you're doing, like how to put in the plumbing, how to do these things. So it's a long process, one that's pretty rewarding. I think me personally, what it kind of closely relates to is, you know, like if, you know, like I wasn't really like the college material, to say it lightly. So when I got out of the military and I wanted to go to college, I mean, it was a bit of a struggle, but I completed the task. So, I mean, I got my degree, and it wasn't like that's going to happen overnight. I mean, it is like every day, you're one day closer, just going through incremental little steps, every class, every, you know, thing. And then for me, like, it kind of relates to 2 things I've done in my life. 1, graduate college. 2 is run a marathon. And when I was turning 30, I thought, I had wanted to run a marathon a long time and wasn't really like actively running or doing anything like that. And I had lunch with a guy at work. We took a class, and I just got to talk to him, just making conversation, like, what do you hang out, what do you do, you know, what are your hobbies? And he says, oh, I run marathons. Really? I said, I always wanted to do that. And that was it. I mean, he wouldn't leave me alone, you know, so we talked a lot about it, and I hadn't ran a race in 10 years, a road race, and the farthest one I probably ever ran was maybe 4 miles, and ran a marathon. It took, I don't know, 5-6 months of training, like every day, you know, physically demanding, and that's where this is. I mean, you wake up every day and you're hurting, but if you don't work on it today, nobody else is working on it. And that's the same way if you're, you know, like training for a marathon. You don't have to do your run. I mean, you worked all day, you get home, you don't have to do it. You're the only one that's going to suffer. I mean, if you don't get those miles in, when it comes, you know, race day, you're the only one suffering out there. So, you know, I think of this process as, I don't know how many hours, but I always say 10,000 hours. It's 10,000 man hours maybe. I mean, if you had, you know, 100 people, obviously that gets done quicker. If you got one person, it's going to take 10,000 hours. I don't know how many hours it is, but so I think of every day, if I'm doing a little bit, it's slowly progressing towards the finish line, which is a completed house. So I know I'm rambling on and on and on, but I don't know. I know I'm not doing very well as far as, showing you guys technical things. And the main reason is because I'm not a home builder. And I mean, I don't really feel comfortable showing you how to do, look, I just screwed the plumbing up today. I've got to fix that. I mean, there's things like that I mean, I'll let an electrician do an electrician video. I'm shooting more for, you can do this. I mean, you can get the information. You're going to mess up a couple times. I can fix that. It took me a while to put a three-way switch in here. It took me probably 2 hours to get it all wired up, and then it didn't work. And then I looked at it again, but I got it. It didn't cost me anything but time, and that's the whole thing about this. If you have the time, you can do this. So anyway, tell me what you think. Comment below. What do you think? Anybody out there who's done this before, chime in. What do you think it takes? I kind of laid out the three-prong approach that I've kind of come to believe it takes. The physical ability to do it, the mental planning of knowing how to do it, and the keeping materials on the job site all the time. Of course, there's some things in there, cleaning up, financing, all those things, but that's the three main things. So anyway, let me know what you think below. If you like the video, thumbs up, subscribe, all that. Once again, I actually had a few messages on my last video, so I responded. So if you have any questions or whatever, you want to see one thing in particular, let me know. I'll do another video. I'm indoors now with the rain, so I mean the house is to that point, so I'm here all the time now. So if there's any one particular thing you want to know about, or whatever, put it in the comments. Anyway, I'm running long, so I really do appreciate you guys watching. I hope everybody's doing fine out there. We're just gonna keep on keeping on, and glad to be in America, to be honest with you. God bless the troops. Anyway, see you later. Thanks a lot.